Hello farmers, welcome back to Griffin, Indiana. We're watching Frank in the Deutz Fahrer hauling the Horse Pronto 9. We're doing a seeding contract in field number 2 with soybeans because today is the last day to get the soybeans in if you want to hopefully harvest them this year. And we're going to be using this to plant soybeans in our field later on, but I was deciding to get the contract done first just to get Frank warmed up, the Deutz Fahrer warmed up. The tractor needs a little bit of repair, so I'll probably do it after we seed our field, but I do have some other things I need to do today after we do our field. So our field up here is right up here. Yeah, it needs to be seeded. I just took a contract as well, one just popped up for field 16 seeding soybeans as well. I'm guessing all these big fields down here, like 19, 10, 9, 22, day number 5 of summer is when we can start planting winter crops like wheat, barley, oats. So those contracts will probably come up tomorrow, be my guess. As for the other fields, we got a lot of fields that could possibly need seeding in the next day or so, which is good for us because that means more contracts, more money coming in. I did get quite a bit done on the 3rd day of summer. I had to harvest that barley field, field number 18, as you saw. It says it's barley's in it. I ended up selling $27,000 worth of straw from that field. And let's see what else I get. I did a total of $103,000 in contracts. So not too bad overall, $126,000. But if you look down here, our loan is down to, we'll just say $2.25 million, which is not too bad. And our loan interest payment at just past midnight is just under $15,000 now. So it's looking better and better and better. And I'm starting the day with pretty much $45,000 in our bank account. So that's almost good for like about 3 days worth of loan interest. But we're going to have a lot of contracts coming in, hopefully more money coming in. And plus we got a lot of grain sitting in our silo. Well, I shouldn't say a lot of grain, but it's a decent amount. So when winter comes, it looks like about the 3rd day of winter was a high price for some of the crop last year. The day 3, well, we'll just say days 2 through 5 of winter, probably be selling some crop. And I'm thinking maybe when I sell the crop this winter, I may save up, and the field that we're seeding over here, like these fields over here, I may go ahead and buy one of these fields instead. I know I was eyeing up field number 30 because it has the sheds on it. That is going for like just shy of $800,000. These fields over here are just under $400,000. Yes, they're not as big as field number 30 or have sheds on them. But, you know, I'm thinking it might be time to expand the farm a little bit. As for our cows, I think we're up to 33 cattle. Hang on a second, what's going here? Yeah, 33 cattle. So overall not doing too bad there. The milk we can see almost up to 10,000 liters, which is not too bad. As for our grass field, let's go into here, back into the PDA, activate grass because you never want grass on, go over to harvest. Yeah, so our grass field still, I mean, it's in the first stage of harvesting, so I'm trying to wait until it's nice and dark orange like all the rest of the grass around the map. You can even still see here when we cut the grass last fall, that grass is still growing. I'm not sure. I don't know. Anyone else using this geo, the Griffin Indiana geo, and doing grass? I'm not too sure. I know we planted the grass this spring. It was like day 2 of spring. We're basically just one season in and it's ready for harvest. It germinated in one day and was starting to grow, but it's just growing awfully slow. Slower than I like to see. And I don't want to get into fall to where I'm going to try to make hay again because that didn't work last year. Oh, I want to deactivate grass. Let's deactivate the grass so it doesn't look that bad when I get into there. That's better. The other thing I noticed as well when I was in the map looking at where the other fields were, look at our field up here, field number 1. It says it's been cultivated. I didn't cultivate our field, so I don't know what's going on. I did not cultivate that field, so I don't know why. I went to the field, it is cultivated. We harvested the field, and that was it. I don't know. I'm not really sure what's going on there. We have seen when I do contracts and I complete the contracts that sometimes the fields reset somehow. So I don't know if that's the multiple contracts mod that I'm running that's doing that. I don't remember having it do that before. So I'm not too sure. Looks like Frank is done. Let's go ahead and stop the driver. Frank, you can get on out. We'll turn course play off. We'll come back into here. Completed for $6,300. We'll collect that. And you can see field number 16. Yep, we're going to use the seeder that we're leasing. That's going to pay us just shy of $12,000. But we need to go on up. I need to top this off with some seed. I need to get my field seeded. I want to make sure that is in and going. And hopefully that field germinates and grows well, and we can harvest it this fall. This is the last day, according to the Geo, that we can plant soybeans. So anything we plant after today is pretty much a winter crop for next season. And I'm trying to get 2 harvests in, obviously, to get them more cash in. So overall, the farm is not doing too bad, being only our 2nd year, and our loan was up to almost, well, it was up to $4 million. So yeah, we're paying off the original land that we purchased, the house, the equipment that we all have. Cannot complain too much. I think we're doing pretty darn well. Seeing we got a nice combine. We got this lovely tractor that can pretty much do anything at 750 horsepower. I would like to get our Peterbilt truck up to have more horsepower, but overall, I mean, I'm not going to complain about that. I can get by. It's a little struggle once in a while from a get-go when it has 120,000 liters of grain in the back of that trailer to get up and going. But overall, it doesn't do too bad, so I'm going to hold off on that as long as I can. Buying more land, and of course, easily we got $2 million worth of equipment still to buy here on the farm before we got most of the stuff that we need, because we don't have a drill or a planter or anything like that. Let's go on in here and seeds. Let's go ahead and fill that up. It's going to cost a little bit of cash, but hey, it is what it is. I do need to fix this Deutz-Fahr here because, yeah, the wear and tear on it is down a little bit, but I'm going to wait until we get our field seeded. Cut across our grass field here. Like I said, technically I could mow it and get some grass off it, but I'm telling you right now, I'm going to go ahead and mow it early fall as the latest I want to go, because last year we did it like on day 3 or 4 of fall, and the grass never turned to hay. And this is where we cut the grass last fall, and it's still not. I don't know. I'm not really sure I know what's going on there. Not too sure. But yeah, here's our field that's cultivated. Somehow, I don't know how that happened, but it did. Maybe the farmers around here, since I've been helping so much, decided to come over and help me out as well. I was going to fold the cedar back up because I didn't want to knock down the sign, but we just go here and get this done. Yeah, so the day before, when Course Play was kind of harvesting the field and I was doing the Peterbilt truck for the straw and the grain and transporting the grain, I started to look around at other fields because, yeah, that field that I'm looking at does cost $800,000. So I started thinking maybe I just need to expand the farm a little bit and start getting other fields as well to make it, because I would like at some point just be able to work on our farmland alone and just take care of our dairy farm as is, so I don't have to do contracts. But you know, the contracts is how you make money, get the farm up. I don't want to just put the money in and just, yeah, I want the farm to earn the money straight up. I just want to cheat in $5 million, buy everything, and just say, okay, we got to run a dairy farm. Because what part of the challenge is that? Yeah, it's a lot of work off camera, but so what? I don't mind doing it. Frank doesn't mind doing it either. And I do realize I have GPS on this tractor, but I don't ever really use GPS that often anymore. I just don't. I did quite a bit in 17, but GPS was a little bit in Farming Simulator 17 than it is in 19. I don't know, maybe because I play Farming Simulator a lot more than I used to. Maybe just because I drive a little bit straighter and it's not that difficult. The only time GPS really comes in handy for me, and I really haven't done it in a while, is when we take care of weeds and the crop is in the final growth stage and you can't see exactly where you've been. It definitely helps out for GPS then, so you can get the weeds taken care of. But every time I played seasons in 19, yeah, that we get weeds in the field, but not that bad to where I want to spend money to do weed prevention yet. I mean, I may go ahead and get into it. I've never done weeding in seasons on Farming Simulator 19. I've heard a lot of different ways to approach how to do weeding in 19. People say spray the field before, which will prevent weeds from coming up when the crop is growing, but then I hear the weeds come up anyways, so I'm not really sure. So for you professional farmers out there who play with seasons in 19 that do weeding in itself, yeah, I mean, how do you approach it, or what have you found to be the best way? So when it comes time, maybe I'll quote-unquote dig into it. I mean, we only got the one field. I'm not too concerned about it at the time, and buying a weeder take care of our weeds in the field. Yeah, I'm not too concerned about it as of right now. I'm going to be very interested when Seasons comes out for Farming Simulator 22, and I do realize that Farming Simulator has posted some pictures of what Seasons looks like in Farming Simulator 22, but they really haven't gone into much detail about it as of yet. So I know they pretty much said yes, it's a Seasons mod, or I don't know if you want to call it a mod if it's going to be part of the game, but it's not going to be anything. I don't know how you can say it's not going to be anything like the mod in 19 or 17, but I guess we'll have to wait and see what they have in store for us. I know they've added a few things, like when winter comes, you'll get like icicles hanging off the roofs of buildings. Some of the summer stuff that they put out in the summer, like if you have deck chairs out in the yard, they kind of show the deck chairs there, and then when winter comes, the deck chairs are gone. So things like that. That's about the only thing they kind of reveal, but it's only May, and the game's going to come out sometime this fall. I would say mid-October to mid-November. There's no date. I'm just speculating. That's usually when the game gets released, is like mid-October to mid-November-ish. But as for us here in Griffin, Indiana, like I said, the grass, I'm not sure. What about, I'm pretty sure many of you probably are playing on Griffin, Indiana. That's why you're watching these videos. Are you playing with Seasons? And if you are you using the Griffin Indiana mod for Seasons? And if you're doing grass, how are you finding the grass growing on your map? I could have like a conflict with the mod, which I never heard of a mod conflict for the Geo. But, you know, you never know. You just never know. The grass, I mean, the grass is growing. It's just taking forever. Maybe I'll have to wait another season because, like I said, we planted that grass this spring. So maybe next year the grass will get an earlier start. Because technically the grass wasn't starting growing in our grass field until the 3rd day of spring. So we'll see. I guess I'll have to wait another year. I thought about maybe buying some more cattle for our barn, seeing that we're doing okay. But until I can see what our grass field does and how much hay we get off there, I'm going to hold off on that a little bit. But yeah, I'm thinking about expanding the farm by buying some more land here. Like I said, definitely this season my goal was to get the loan below $2 million, and we're not far off from doing that. And it's going to really pay off once all the fields get seeded and I can start taking fertilizing contracts. Those contracts don't take long at all to do, and you get paid pretty darn well for them. But then again, the fertilizer is not cheap. But yeah, I am cheesing it a little bit because I got a modded Breedle spreader. It doesn't use as much fertilizer, so I do save a little bit of money on the fertilizer. So that helps us out a little bit. I know I say I don't want to cheese the money in, but then again, there's other things I'm doing that help us along by using equipment that doesn't use as much, what do you want to call it, filler. So like this drill right here doesn't use as much seed as the in-game one. Plus it seeds at a faster rate, and our Breedle spreader, like I said, the working speed is a little bit faster than the in-game one, and it uses less fertilizer, and I think lime as well. So hopefully in late fall, this field will be ready for harvest. Like I said, this is the last day that we can plant soybeans with this season's mod that we got going. It is the 4th day of summer. And on the 5th day of summer, that's when, like I said, the wheat, barley, and oats can be planted. So probably what I'll do is like we did last season, which is find a contract for like a big field and lease the equipment, like a tractor and the drill. Because obviously I don't want to be doing the fields with a 9-meter wide drill, because that'll take a while. And then we'll just use that equipment on all the fields that we can find contracts for seeding. And then I'll release Frank in the Deutzfahrer here, and he'll be fertilizing all the fields that we're seeding, I'm sure. And along the way, if we ever see a high price at our milk stand, we'll go ahead and deliver some milk. Right now we only got 10,000 liters, which is not too bad. I mean, we're talking probably like just shy of $15,000 worth of milk we got sitting there, which would be enough to do the loan interest payment at midnight. But definitely the future for this this farm here. Like I said, I kind of showed the planter and the drill that we're going to be using. I don't think I've shown the tractor that we're going to be using for planting and drilling. So we'll have 3 tractors. We'll just have the Deutz-Fahrer. We'll have the Ford. The Ford is mainly just to be at the cow barn and take care of the cows and transporting straw and hay bales to the mixer and cleaning out the stalls themselves, and of course maintaining the silage. So yeah, we'll have the Deutz-Fahrer and of course the Deutz-Fahrer and the 3rd tractor, which I don't think I've shown yet, so I'm going to keep that a little bit of a secret. I think if I've shown it, then I've shown it. I just don't remember. But we'll keep that a secret until it comes time to buying it. But that will be kind of like that's going to be our planting tractor, if you will. Obviously, I could, once we have a planter and a drill, because we do plan to do a lot of corn around here. I want to do a lot of corn on this farm. Many reasons for corn. 1, we can do silage. And 2, we may be putting some factories down. 2 factories, well actually, sorry, it might be 3. 1 factory is going to be the meat processing factory, because when our cattle start to get to a certain age, it'll be time to slaughter the cattle and we'll be able to do meat. The other thing I might do is the fish factory, which I have not. I tried it when the mod came out, but I'm going back a long time ago when that mod came out, and I have not yet used it. But the only thing I will need for that mod to work is I got to make pallets, I believe. I do have a mod that does make pallets, and I use that on Green Mountain Forest. But I haven't updated that mod, and that mod now does not. It works, let me say that. But if you remember on the Pacific Northwest, when at one point the Global Economy mod got updated, a lot of the factory mods I had, the graphics didn't look well. The mod worked, but the graphics were missing or gone. And that's the same problem I have with some of my factory mods right now. I got to find updates for them. But that's going to be a ways out because 1, I don't have land to put it down on. I'm thinking about maybe for the meat factory, because I got to try to figure out with our cattle. We may be cutting down some trees over here. We own some of the forest over here, so I may cut down some trees so that we don't have to buy land to place down the meat factory. Now, the meat factory does cost $250,000, so it's kind of, it's an expense, but once we start selling the meat, then we'll get our money back relatively quick. Well, I'm hoping to hear pretty soon. Our cattle are doing rather well. We probably got like 7 more cattle along the way, because we bought 20 cattle to start with, and of course we're up to 33, so I think we probably got like 7 more cows expecting some offspring. And I don't know how long it'll be before the offspring can start reproducing as well. So we're just getting the ball rolling here in Griffin, Indiana. We're only in year number 2, like I said at the beginning of the episode. And we got half our loan paid off. We got some cattle. The farm's coming along well. And I think by the end of this year, the loan will get down far enough to where I just want to buy some more land. That way we're working our own. Now, the only thing about buying more lands, like if I buy one of those fields that we were in this earlier with Frank seeding that field, that's just another field I can't do contracts in to make money in, but oh well. So hopefully this crop grows rather well, because I don't have any soybean in our silo. The only thing I got in our silo from doing the contracts is barley, oats, and canola. It's kind of weird. It seems like the farmers around here do not want to plant wheat. I think there's been like 1 or 2 wheat fields that I harvested, and that was last season. Doesn't look like anyone's planted wheat, but we'll see what tomorrow brings, because tomorrow is the start of the winter seeding, so we'll see what comes along. I've always liked this this drill, and if you've been on this channel long enough, you know I use this Horse Pronto number 9 quite often. One, because Stevie modded it pretty well, but just that, you know, it turns really well. You don't have to make a wide turn with it. You can turn in tight quarters, and when it turns, you almost seem like to line up perfectly for the next row, ready to rock and roll. It does rather well. The only thing I'm concerned on, like I keep mentioning right now on this map, is our grass field's not growing the way I would like it to. That's about it. Like I said before, I had someone make a comment on videos way back that they live in the Griffin, Indiana area, and they do hay 3 times a year. So yeah, right now we're lucky. We're going to get 1 in. Hopefully the grass is fully grown by then. Keep our fingers crossed, and we'll put that in our little barn that we have, along with our straw that we did last season. Yep. Silage, hay, and straw, that's all for feeding our cattle. And the straw as well for bedding. The cows' health, I have not shown you that, but their health is now up to 88%. So definitely giving them some bedding to bed down, and their health is actually going up. I mean, I kind of like what Seasons did there by giving them straw. Yes, you should get solid manure and not liquid. But if you want to just do liquid slurry, it's kind of hard to do that and get the cows' health up all the way. So you got to do it one way or the other. And I want their health up high enough because like I said before, I'm just kind of going off my memory when I read Seasons a long time ago. But the milk production will be based on their health as well. So the higher their health is, the more milk production we will get. And that's the whole purpose of our farm is, well, it's a dairy farm. So we want to produce some milk. Milk does the body good. But I'm still trying to figure out how this field got cultivated, because I didn't do it. I did not do it. So we'll wait until the crop germinates and grows. So that my guess is we'll wake up on day 5 of summer, and this crop will be has germinated and starting to grow. That's when we'll fertilize it. That was something I did not know was Seasons. And I'm trying to remember if I did that right in when I did Hazard County. Yep. Oh no, it's not with Seasons. Sorry, that's with precision farming with soil sampling. Yeah, the different type of crops are going to take a different amount of fertilizer. So we're just going to fertilize the fields after they germinate, and that way we are good to go there. Just have to fertilize it once, and you are done. But it's still probably going to take as much fertilizer as it would if you were to fertilize a field. Is it 3 times in Seasons without precision farming, or is it twice? I can't remember. I'm getting all confused with the different type of mods. How many times it needs to be fertilized and not fertilized. But man, this tractor does need repair. And that's the other thing I like about Seasons. When we go to repair it, we don't have to repaint it. I don't want to repaint my vehicles. I want it to wear and tear. I want the paint to show. And I hope they do that in Farming Simulator 22, to where they make the repaint and repair a separate thing. I'm not going to make it around that tree. That's what I'm saying about this drill. You turn on a dime and it turns right with you and almost lines up perfectly. So I'll get this all repaired, and I'll head on down to field 16 and get Frank started on seeding that field. And that'll help pay for the leasing fee for this today. And then some, along with the seed. So eventually, yeah, we'll have John Deere planter. We'll have a John Deere planter and a drill. And it'll take us no time to seed this field, because why am I getting one that big? Because I plan to have some pretty huge darn fields in the future. At least that's the plan. At some point, we are going to have lots of money on this farm and not know what to do with it, so might as well go ahead and spend it. As they always say, you can't take it with you. So it looks like about a couple more passes, and we'll go on down. We'll top this off, fix the Deutz-Fahrer, and then Frank can take it and get the other field planted today. And then I really have nothing else to do today because the contracts have been few and far between. Even though I keep hitting the refresh button, the game is like, no, we got nothing for you other than baling contracts, baling, transporting, and cultivating contracts. That's what we have out there. Yep, one more pass and we are done with our field until late fall, hopefully. Fingers crossed. But definitely another shed would not hurt, and I'm talking about a big shed because the parking lot on side of the grain silo for our big equipment, yeah, it's getting kind of tight quarters in there. With our combine harvester, our milk tanker, our flatbed for the Peterbilt itself, the windrower. It's getting kind of crowded over there. Alright, turn off the drill, raise it, fold it. I wonder if that's enough seed to get the other field planted. I think I'll send Frank over there to seed it with what we have and see how it goes. There's our lovely little cattle over there. Let's go ahead and do a repair bill. I'm guessing it's going to be probably like 1,100 bucks maybe. Is that possible? Where it's just 1,100 bucks? I could deal with 1,100 bucks. Repair. Okay, it's 2,000. It is what it is. I mean, and no, we don't want to repaint it, and we are set to go there. Fuel-wise, we are fine, but you know what? We're here, so let's go ahead and top her off with some diesel fuel. If I'm going to pay some bills, might as well go ahead and pay some bills, right? That way this tractor has been repaired, it's refueled, it's ready to go. Let's open up the drill and we'll come over here and top it up. No. I don't want to top it up. See, I just told myself we're going to go ahead and try it. Zip on down here. The one thing I do have a mod to put down bridges, so like these little riverbed areas where the culverts go, if I ever want to cross fields somewhere else, I can always put down a little bit of a bridge and cross there, but we probably won't do that until we own some of the fields. Well, I can't put it down until I own the field anyways. You gotta own the field to put placeables down. So yeah, this field coming up here on the left-hand side, this is the field I would like to buy first, but I guess we'll have to see how it goes. It's like $780,000 with the sheds on it. And to give me a good amount of parking down here as well. And we'll cut across these farmers' fields. Like I said, hopefully tomorrow I'll have a lot of seeding contracts. I'll probably do a lot of them off camera, but when we come back next episode, probably be doing a couple of them ourselves, maybe in smaller fields, and you'll be looking at me like, why does he got a big seed drill for that small field, because I'll lease it for a big one and we're going to get the jobs done quick. At least that's my plan. Frank is still off to lunch, so he'll do this later. But this is the field that we need to seed with soybean. And like I said, we're going to get paid just $11,000. So weeding contracts, cultivating, transportation, and baling contracts. This baling contract does look kind of enticing to me. You know, 18,000 for field. How big is field 34 anyways? It's kind of hard to tell. If I go to lands. So my grass field is probably bigger than field 34. Something to think about for sure, because that contract's always going to sit there. These are grass fields themselves. How much do those cost? Anyway, I was on the right page. Wow, $416,000 for that grass field up there. All right, well, maybe. But I would like to get more fields so we can plant crops into them. Let's zip up to the ford, because the one thing I haven't done yet today is clean out the cows. And I can't remember if I gave them water or not. Looks like I did, but let's go ahead and top off the cows just to be sure. I gotta be careful coming over here because the trigger for the water and milk are kind of close to each other. They're at 84% water, so I did give them water this morning. But we'll top them off there. And of course, jump into the ford. And for the most part, yep, we just clean them on up. Nope, bucket's not down far enough apparently. There we go. And not much are they spilling. As for the straw, yeah, I tried putting the bale there, and yeah, it's not taking it automatically. I have to come and move the bale around a little bit before the straw gets taken. So just by leaving the bale of straw there, it's not going to just automatically take. At least it's not for me. I had to find the right spot, and I really haven't found the exact spot where the trigger is as of yet. So I'll keep fishing for it. It doesn't take me too long, but it's there somewhere. Well, at least we got plenty of silage from that grass meadow that we had last year. But yeah, I'm a little confused why the grass in the non-field hasn't really grown yet. It's growing, but it's almost been 3/4 of a year and that grass is not even growing tall enough to even be harvested yet. And look at that, you just clean it out and they're already spitting out the food. Nope, out of the tractor please. Yeah, they're already spitting out the food. Keep producing milk, ladies, that is fine. And one day we'll grab our milk tanker and go make some money selling some milk. But I'm going to go have lunch myself, and Frank is going to head and get that other field seeded today. Then I'll return the drill and see what tomorrow brings for contracts. Why is the nitrogen level perfect? That doesn't seem right. No, nitrogen is low. The pH level is pretty good. The nitrogen level is showing as low, but when you come into the field, it's saying that it's perfect. I don't think it is. But I don't know what soybeans require for fertilizer either. Yeah, sometimes it shows it as bad. I don't know. I don't know what's going on with that at all. I have no idea. Not a clue. But anyways, that's going to do it for today, guys. Hopefully you guys did enjoy the episode. I do appreciate you watching as always. I'll catch you again right here in Griffin, Indiana. But until then, have a good one. Come on, grass, grow.